Playing with Tisziji has been an incredible experience for me. I mean, the first time I played with him was over 20 years ago in Boston when I was a student there. And Bob Moses, Rock Alam, introduced me to him, and I think maybe recommended me for a recording and a couple of gigs. And I mean, back then it was just an incredible experience. It was so, there's a certain depth. There was something else there that not everyone has, and in a way that no one else has. But then a lot of time passed before we got to play again, and I remember a couple of years before we got together again, Rock Alam kept saying, you got to come over and play, whenever you're ready, and I kept, I didn't really fully fathom what that meant, even though I did, understood, but I felt like, yeah, I'm ready, I just got to make the time. But I guess we were ready when we were ready, and I was ready when I was ready. So we got together, I guess the first thing was a concert in Boston for Rock Alam's birthday, but immediately Tisziji wanted to get together, and I came over to his to his place, and we started working through. He started pulling out his pieces, and we started playing them. And he proposed the idea of doing a duet a duet recording together. A very simple version of his songs. And what was amazing to me was how all the things Tisziji talked about wanting me to do, and the aspects of my playing that he was interested in incorporating into his music were all very, very deep parts of myself and my music that most people don't recognize from all the other things I've done and what I do. Most people, when I hear a musician, I can really feel a lot of what they're capable of, but what I've come to realize, most people can't do that, even great musicians. They only hear you for what it is that you're doing. And what Tisziji started talking about, this certain classical music and contemporary classical music and simple ballad playing and things are not things that most people are aware of in terms of what I've done. But it's a deep part of myself and a deep part of what I do when I'm alone playing the piano by myself. And somehow, psychically, Tisziji Bapu tapped right into that. And that's what he wanted to do with me first. Which really resonated with me completely. Because a lot of times people want to play groove music with me, or they want to take it way out, which is something that I can do and I love to do. But he really tapped into a part of me that I hadn't often done in public or with other people, or that basically no one really ever thought of me as being able to do. So it really resonated with me that he was able to see that, and so it was a incredible experience, we worked on that first recording together. We went in, very little rehearsal. He brought his music. We got a beautiful, gigantic piano, and we were together in a room playing his songs, and that's what has turned into Beauty is Beauty. And the way he directed it, the way he, it was very strong and very clear, yet also completely free and open to where I was and how I related to the music. Yet the music, because the music itself is so clear that it guides you, the melodies, the harmonies, the songs. But it was really, beautiful the way he conducted or directed, how he dictated certain things and got out of the way so that things could come through me for his music, and it was a great experience, and that's basically how I feel, our work together since has been. He, very strong idea of what he wants, but then the reality of what I start to bring to it, he is flexible within the framework of what's happening in the moment for that moment, while being clear about the vision and the overall intent of the prayer or the meditation. It's great, and it's been a great learning experience for me, and it's actually inspired me on my own to start to explore and reveal that aspect of my music to, you know, I just got done doing some solo piano recordings that I probably wouldn't have done as soon or felt the confidence to do had we not, you know, had we not done the work we've been doing together. It's been liberating. Playing Tiszyi's songs and melodies, they're like classic tunes, every one of them, in their own way. Beautiful, simple, yet complex and deep, you know. And I feel like I've heard, you know, I feel like, oh yeah, I've heard that tune before. It's a classic. And to me, that's what, you know, that's a great piece of music where you feel like you know it and you've heard it, because it's tapping into something collective, something that we need or something that we all have, and expressing it, you know. And that's what I love about his songs. I love to, I mean, I love to play. If I'm at home, you know, I'm alone playing and practicing, I usually end up playing one of his songs just for my own pleasure, because they're so beautiful to play. They're so, not sure what the word I'm looking for is. They're so clear and natural, you know. And, you know, for me, there's a certain, it's just, you know, the melodies are simple and pure, and yet there's also a jazz, you know, a knowledge of a certain era of songwriting that, you know, a lot of people don't have today. This understanding of jazz and certain standard songs, you know, that a way of approaching harmony and form. And then some of his songs are you know, very complex and, you know, almost fantasy-like, but the melodies are strong and beautiful. You know, it's great. I love playing his songs. What should people know about him? Whew, that's a big one. Well, I think people should know, you know, I guess, I mean, there's so many things, so but I would say if there's one thing that people should know is that he, you know, there's a lot of, I mean, at this point, you know, music has become so categorized, and, you know, everyone has things figured out. Oh, this is this kind of music, this is that kind of music. And even in the history of jazz music, oh, there's, you know, bebop, there's hard bop, there's free jazz, there's, you know, spiritual jazz. And, you know, I've heard people refer to Tiszyi's music as, you know, falling into the category of spiritual jazz. You know, the music that, you know, John Coltrane did late in his life, Pharoah Sanders. And, you know, I understand that genre viewpoint. But the one thing about Tisziji that I, you know, from being around him and working with him, is that he's really living that life. I mean, he really is, he's living it. He's not just playing this kind of music, and he's living it 100% all day, every day. I mean, his writings are incredible, and he, you know, and the clarity of his work. You know, sometimes, you know, when he's talking about things, you know, there's nothing to say, because he's so clear. You know, when he talks about things of the spirit or of reality and all these things that, you know, that we all love to think about, but he always takes it one step further, and it's so clear. And you know, he's been doing it for a long time. He's been living this, you know, almost monastic, you know, the monastic life of a guru, you know, and that's what he is. And I know he's that for a lot of people, myself included. He's an incredible teacher, and, you know, he's a master. And a lot of people play at spiritual jazz or spiritual music, you know, but Tiszyi's really doing it. And I mean, that to me is the most important thing. You know, it's hard to get that point across if you're not around somebody all the time and you don't see their integrity. But, you know, I'm involved in my life with a lot of different spiritual practices, shamanic practices. I travel to, you know, to different places in the world and work with, you know, incredible healers, masters, shaman, of, you know, a lot in indigenous cultures. And, you know, Tisziji is that. I mean, he is a master, a healer, you know, of the highest order from what I've seen, and I've seen a lot. I mean, what's great is that he also is, plays this music that I can be part of, which I love, But I mean, I guess that seems to me the most important thing. I can't impart enough just how much he is the real deal. Well, I think, a lot of what I was just talking about is what he brings that's different. He brings, I guess it's a certain, I would say it's discipline, is what he brings that's different. It's a certain discipline and a certain wisdom, because I've known musicians who are very disciplined, but it manifests in a certain way, in incredible technical ability, whereas, with Bapu, there's also this incredible, relentless, I don't know what the word, I mean, thinking's not the right word, but tuning in to a certain wisdom, and fearlessly allowing it to come through and share it with us, And that's not everyone's doing that.